It's Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a marvelous day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. Today I'm asking the question, is falling in love all that matters? This question came to me after I'm watching the fallout in Los Angeles, and I'm just really wanting to send all of the encouragement that I can to Black Los Angelinos and all of the Los Angelinos who are fighting against bigotry and hatred. But is falling in love all that matters? Now, the reason I'm asking this question is because it is popular, especially in the African American community, that when they go out and date and marry other races of people, they'll say, love is love. Black people buy that. It's all that matters who you fall in love with. I think that's really honorable of Black Americans, that you want to believe in love and that you are willing to open your hearts to other people and put aside differences and try to work with another group of people. I think Black Americans do the best job of trying to get past racial differences. But here's the issue. Other people are not trying to do that. They know how we got here. They know that we have been designated at the bottom. And even when they fall in love with you, so-called, and I think they still feel they have some kind of an upper hand on Black Americans. Even if they come from some nowhere place that you can't even find on the map. If they can find their way to the United States of America, they think, or seem to think, that they got it over on Black Americans. And if we fall for that, then we fall for it. But we're weakening our own power base when we do that. Because other people have an agenda, and their agenda does not include giving you any of their power. Now that's a hard lesson, but it's an important lesson for African Americans to learn and to teach their children, because other people are teaching their children that. Those people in Los Angeles had no intention of working with Black people. They were having that meeting to try to figure out how they could push Black people out of their neighborhoods. And this is not new. Black people in Los Angeles have been complaining about that for years. They were having a strategy meeting to figure out how they were going to redraw the district lines to dilute Black people's voting power. And they're also trying to push Black people out of their neighborhoods. That's what that meeting was about. All that other racist stuff just came in as reinforcement that these people were racist. But they were really trying to figure out how they were going to take Black people's property and gain power for themselves. Now, just to back up what I'm saying, the Los Angeles City Council has asked these people to resign their positions. The resolution says, whereas in October 2022, audio was released of an October 2021 meeting at which Council Member Gil Cedillo, Council Member Kevin De Leon, and Council Member Nori Martinez were present. The council members' remarks sought to divide our city along racial lines with attacks against all racial and ethnic groups, and with especially inflammatory remarks against another council member's family, and repeated and vulgar, homophobic, anti-indigenous, anti-Semitic, anti-Asian, anti-Armenian, and anti-Black comments. Whereas the audio also revealed a clear undermining of our city's redistricting process, including active collusion to disempower renters and evidence of a coordinated effort to weaken Black political representation. The comments collectively exposed layers of contempt for the people of Los Angeles and a cynical, ugly desire to divide the city rather than unite and serve it. Whereas the sentiment, language, and behavior displayed in this conversation is vile, abhorrent, disgraceful, and demonstrates a culture of corruption in our council chambers. It is unbefitting of any public office. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the members of the Los Angeles City Council, call for the immediate resignations of Councilmember Nori Martinez, Councilmember Kevin De Leon, and Councilmember Gil Cedillo. So not only is this a stripping of power for this group, but it's also a stripping of the pocketbook. This woman makes almost $285,000 a year. So hit them where it hurts. Now this is what John Henry Clark says about us as a collective, and he is a historian, an African American historian, and a well-respected historian. He says, our belief in justice for all people, we fall into their traps, and one of those traps is mostly Hispanics. They watch and see you fight for something. The minute you win, they come in and ask for half of it, and they weren't even in the fight to begin with. A lot of times they get it, especially the Puerto Ricans. They weren't near the fight. They want you to give them half of your power. They want parity because we have not learned to practice the selfishness of survival. It's interesting that he mentioned Puerto Ricans because Fat Joe, who is a Puerto Rican rapper, is now saying that Puerto Ricans created rap. And he's inserted himself into something that he didn't have anything to do with. Black people were rapping in the United States in the 1920s. Black people have always rapped. It's a part of our collective culture and history. And furthermore, black people don't need anybody to help them create a music form. We have a number of music forms, and nobody helped create them. So what would make anybody think that black people would need Puerto Ricans to help them create rap, or Jamaicans, or anybody else? But this is what he means when we say we don't have that strong sense of survival. We want to share with others, but they don't want to share with us. And that same concept of taking from black people is at work in Los Angeles. Black people have been in Los Angeles since before slavery ended, working and building business and taking all kinds of crap, having riots and everything going on in Los Angeles, but fighting for their right to be, fighting for their humanity. They've been fighting and struggling. And then when the gates open, when the society opened up, then here come these so-called Latinos coming in. And Bill Maher said this on his show a few years ago. Just on the basis of them procreating, coming across the border illegally, having a whole bunch of children, and building a large number, now they think they're supposed to take power. And who are they trying to take from? Black people. So this concept of us not having this strong survival instinct is at work there. But I don't know, they might be coming up against a different breed of black people, because it seems like black people in Los Angeles right now are ready for a fight. But it's the same thing, trying to take from black people. Black people come in, go through the struggle, fight, bury fathers, husbands, sons, kinfolks, and friends in the fight for freedom. Prove themselves worthy, and then when you get in the door, then here come all these other people trying to rush in. And you fall in love with these people at your own detriment and to the detriment of other black people, because there's a whole lot of racial mixing in Los Angeles, but it's not benefiting black people because they're steadily trying to find ways to take power, property, and anything else they can from black people. We have to learn these lessons about these other people at some point. And this is the last phase of the strategy that these other groups of people have, and that is to become white. Dr. Kevin Cosby tweeted this today. In the book, How the Irish Became White, the author asserts that oppressed Irish immigrants in the United States became white by embracing racism and opposing black Americans. That is exactly the strategy that these Latinos are using in California in their quest to become white. The first thing that you do is you embrace racism. That racist state, those racist things that those people were saying out there could have come out of any white supremacist Ku Klux Klan playbook. They have embraced racism and they're opposing black people. This is the strategy. It's not that hard for black people to grasp. Any new group of people that comes to the United States is going to try to apply this strategy. A lot of these Africans and Caribbeans are trying to do it, but it's not going to work for them because their skin tone is going to hold them back. But they have the heart to do it, to embrace racism and oppose African Americans. That's the playbook. It's always been the playbook. And we have to accept reality. I'm not saying that every single person from every other race of people is a racist and a bigot and hates black people. That is not what I'm saying at all. There are wonderful people in every group, in every racial and ethnic group. But they don't constitute the majority. The majority of them think alike. Now, we have not heard a Hispanic organization speak out against these individuals. And this is what came across my Twitter page. Pharaoh Jones tweeted, "The reason why the Congressional Hispanic Caucus has not spoken out against these racist Hispanics is because they support the anti-black racism. The majority of those Latino people in California most likely support this thinking that these people have put out here. And that's why we're not hearing from them." So it's not that we need them to speak out for us. It means that we have to accept who these people are and look out for ourselves and for each other. It fascinates me when I hear people say, "I don't fall in love with the group. I fall in love with the individual. So if her race doesn't like me, I don't care." That sounds good. And in a perfect world, that would be great. But we don't live in a perfect world. And if you don't survive as a group, you don't survive. So if your group goes down, you're going down with that ship. So anyway, this is what I wanted to share. And is falling in love all that matters? That's a question that each person has to ask of themselves. How you answer that question really has to do with how you feel about yourself as an individual, but also how you feel about yourself as part of the African American ethnic group. So anyway, this is another lesson for us, and every lesson is an important lesson. And we learn as we go. And at a point, we're going to decide, we're going to realize who we are and what we have to do. And I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine. Okay, thank you for listening. Let me know what you think about the video. Subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, share the video, and as always, have a great day.